to run it in the face-to-face one. Yeah, I hope you all are fine. Yeah, maybe because I did some traveling these few weeks. Yeah, so I'm not very well, so my sore throat is not very good, and my voice might not be very clear. Yeah, so if you have unclear, if my voice was not very clear, please do let me know. Yeah. I did a recording for today's class, just in case some of you are missing some part of it. Yeah, I'm going to upload in YouTube. Then later on, you can refer, yeah, to as a part of the today's lectures. Yeah. Okay. Uh, I think last week I've shared you two videos. Yeah, one is about the quantitative research methods, while the the other one will be talking about qualitative and quantitative, yeah, research method. These two video is very important, yeah. So because today's lecture in related with uh, mixed methods, yeah, mixed methods. In order for you to understand a mixed methods research methods, you need to understand both either quantitative or qualitative. Yeah, so these two is very important in order for you to understand both. Yeah, so that you can use both approach in what we call as a mixed method research methods. Yeah. Okay. Let me share you the screen first. If you have any questions, you can type in the chat box, yeah, or you can keep it for yourself, and maybe you can also ask in the WhatsApp groups, yeah, and of course, you can ask yourself, yeah, after the end of the lectures, yeah, you can ask me about that. One moment, yeah, let me share the screen first. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. Are you able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Please do let me know, yeah, if my screen is not very clear or etc. Please do let me know because I can't see you from this sharing screens, yeah. Okay. So today's one, we're going to talk about what we call as a mixed methods. Yeah, as you can see from the names, yeah, actually it's a combination between qualitative and quantitative. Yeah. But before that, I think this is the overview of my lecture today. Yeah, I'm going to talk about mixed method, the definition of mixed methods, and of course, I have to discuss a bit about quantitative research, and I have to discuss a bit about qualitative research, the one that I've shared with you before. Yeah, I hope you have watched the movies, and at least you have some basic understanding of these tools. Yeah. And next one, when to use mixed method research. Yeah, when you have to use that one. Yeah, that's type of mixed method research design. Yeah, different type of it. Yeah, of course the key characteristic of it, steps. Yeah, how step by steps of the process of doing mixed method studies, and of course at the end we talk about evaluating a mixed method studies. Yeah. Okay, let's start. What's the definition of mixed method research? Yeah, mixed method research is a procedure for collecting, analyzing, and mixing. Yeah, the word mixing, both quantitative and qualitative research in a single study to understand a research problem. Yeah. To utilize this effectively, you must understand both qualitative and quantitative. And that's why it's very important that you read the previous two movies, yeah, so that you can understand what are the different between them and how to use them. Yeah. So another thing is that mixed methods is related with philosophical approach. You need to understand the whole research philosophy so that you can use which one first and which was second, and how to manage between these two. Yeah? I think that's the most important of it. Okay, let's start with quantitative research. I mean, at the previous videos, quantitative research talk about positivism, yeah, post-positivism approach. Yeah, when we have a singular realities, yeah, people talk about we would like to find objectivities, yeah, and the approach normally we use deductive. Deductive means something from generals, then you go something specific. Yeah. So so that from that you can come out with different type of approach, quantities. Yeah. Quantitative research attempt to quantify variable of interest. Yeah. So question must be measurable. Yeah. In this case, we were dealing with something that can easily be measured. Yeah. For example, what's the relationship between graduate students level of interactions measured by number of hits in the course and student grade in online research method course. Yeah. How are you going to measure the level of interaction? You are using how the numbers of hits in the course and of course the student grade on the online this method. So that's you're measuring something that can be measured. Yeah. Generally involve collecting numerical data subjected to statistical analysis. I mentioned before to you about the statistical analysis in quantitative research method before. Yeah. Examples, performance tests, personality measure, questionnaire, and of course content analysis. A quantitative research by most of the researcher, they call it hard data. Yeah. Hard data mean that the things that you gather can easily be measured and can easily be identified. Yeah, because you can, as I mentioned before, is a number, temperature, so different type of counts, yeah, counter, yeah. So it's depending on the data is can easily can be measured. Yeah. On the other hand, if you talk about qualitative, yeah, qualitative based on the constructivism, yeah, means that it deals with multiple realities. And the last videos, I tell you that qualitative research sometimes being criticized for being biased. Yeah, so the bias is become part of the characteristic of the qualitative research, and it's normally using the inductive approach. Inductive approach means you are coming from something specific in order for you to generate one big theories from that. Yeah, so from one symptom to symptom to symptom, then you make a conclusion on that. Yeah, so that's what we call a qualitative research. So if you refer to Schulman, he mentioned there time we wish to know not how many or how well, but simply how. So when you talk about narrative, yeah, for example, another example, what are the factors that influence graduate student experience in online research method course? Yeah. So you like to know what are the factors. So the factors is not something that you can easily measure. Yeah. So it's something more abstract. That's why we would like to know how. That's what we're using a qualitative research. Yeah. Qualitative research generally involve listening to participant voice, subjective data, yeah, like interviews, yeah, open-ended questionnaires, yeah, observation, content analysis, focus discussion, etc. So it's more exploratory, yeah, in nature. So when you talk about quantitative mixed methods, yeah, normally we discuss these are the steps, yeah, the process how to conduct mixed methods. Normally we will do a feasibility study first, yeah, whether it's the time is enough, the resources is enough to conduct a mixed methods. Then we must come up with the rationales why we need a mixed method. Then we go to the identifying the data, yeah. Then develop a quantitative, qualitative, and mixed method questions. These are the next steps. Then you can start with qualitative first or quantitative first. Yeah, I will discuss further on that. On the step three, one thing that very important is that for you to understand the priorities. Yeah, which one is most important between either one quantitative or qualitative research method. Then you design the sequence. The sequence, yeah. Whether you start from qualitative first or you start with qualitative first. We're going to discuss that later, the details. Yeah. Then you do the one, you collect the data. Either you collect the quantitative first or you collect the qualitative first. Then after that, you analyze the data separately or concurrently. Yeah. So you can directly analyze together, or you can direct first and then go to the next one. Yeah. Then you write the reports on that mixed methods process. Yeah. When to use mixed method design? Yeah. Uh, there's a lots of questions, yeah, from the students when they did the research. When can we have to use mixed method? Yeah. Number one, when both quantitative and qualitative data together provide better understandings. Yeah. Sometimes when you use only one quantitative data, it's not enough. You say that, oh, I only understand one part of it, but I don't understand the whole scenarios or the whole problems. Yeah. In order for you to understand the whole, maybe you need to engage the other methods so that you get a bigger pictures of it. Yeah. And when one type of research is not enough, yeah. So when the first one, when you combine together, then you get a better understanding. Yeah. Second one is that when one is not enough. Yeah. Of course, when we talk about pragmatisms, yeah, I mean, in terms of practicalities, yeah, sometimes when we finish with one research methods, we see that, oh, okay, this one pragmatism, we can conduct another one, yeah, so that we can have a better understanding of the situations. Bias and bias, yeah, sometimes when you only use one research methods, your finding might not be subjective. Yeah, you feel that, oh, this one is too biased. That's why you engage another methods in order for you to make it complete. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes you want to incorporate. Yeah. Sometimes you want to incorporate between one qualitative component into otherwise. Yeah. Quantitative or vice versa. Yeah. Or you want to build from one phase study to another, or you want to explore qualitatively, then develop an instrument. Yeah. So when you start with qualitative, you interview people, but you like, oh, okay, after I need to create a measurement, tools, yeah, instrument that can be measured. That's why when you engage a quantitative research method to follow up quantitative study qualitatively to obtain more detailed information. Yeah, so I will talk about it in detail after this with each of it. Yeah. Mixed method research methodology utilize both quantitative and qualitative data in collection methodologies. Yeah, when you collect the data, you use both of them. For example, when you did interview and questionnaires, yeah, performance test, then you did an observation, yeah, questionnaire follow up with focus groups, yeah, then document analysis, etc. Yeah, these are the mix of these research methods. As I said, it's a combination, yeah, between qualitative and qualitative before, yeah. Okay. Now, there are key characteristics, yeah, that you need to know, yeah. Yang number one, you need to understand the rationales, yeah. You need to understand which the phase, yeah, the first phase, which one come first, and which one come later, yeah. When you collecting both quantitative and qualitative data, you deal with numeric data and also the text, yeah. So text normally when you deal with qualitative, yeah, numeric data when you deal with quantitative. Yeah. Let's. This is very important tables, yeah. When you doing mixed methods, it's very important that you understand these tables, yeah. You have capital quant and capital qual. Yeah, means that if the capital quant means that your research main was the quantitative, yeah, quantitatively driven studies. Yeah, means that your main data should be the quantitative data. For example, you did a questionnaire, that is will be your main. Then in order to specify, then you pick up certain sample and you did an interview based on that particular sample. That quantitative become the capital quant. When qualitative become the dribbling one, you have capital qual, mean that qualitative become the main. Yeah. When the smaller, not the capital one, yeah, quant and qual, that mean it follows, yeah, secondaries. When you put plus, mean that you doing that both data was collect concurrently. Yeah, I mean you collect them together. Yeah. Or when you put an arrows means that it show a sequential. Yeah, mean you collect this one first, then the next one will be the other one. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see here, there's a in terms of priority, there could be equal weight. Yeah. It be quant carries more weight than qual, or qual carries more weight than quant. Yeah. These are the principle of it. Yeah. The sequence. Yeah. At the same times, followed by qualitative. Yeah. These are the possible process of it. There are key decision in choosing mixed methods. Yeah. Number one, when there's a require a level of interactions, yeah, between quantitative and qualitative strands. Yeah. The priorities. Yeah. The timings. Yeah. Whether you have enough time or not to do these both methodologies. Yeah. When and how to mix the each process of it. Yeah. These are some major mixed method design. Yeah. Number one, they call it convergent parallel design. Yeah, this is the first method. I mean, as you can see here, we start with quantitative data collection analysis. Then you did a qualitative data collection. I mean, you did it together. Yeah. Then you compare it. Yeah. Then from that comparison or relate, then you have your interpretation of both data. Yeah. Convergent means you collect both quantitative and qualitative data together, then you compare it and you relate it in order for you to get a clear interpretation. I think this one is easier for you to understand. In convergent designs, yeah, as you can see here, concurrently, analyze the data set separately, mix, yeah, by resulting in order for you to get the interpretations. Yeah. What is the purpose of convergence? To obtain more complete understanding from two database. Yeah, means that both are equal. Yeah, either qualitative and quantitative are equal. You like to get a full comprehensive data, then you put it same level. You analyze it separately. Yeah, this is the way we run the research. Yeah. When to use it? When you need to collect both in one visit to the field. Yeah. Sometimes the research, when you collect the data, you need to collect together. Yeah. You need to have both qualitative and qualitative research skills. Yeah, both equal. Yeah. Uh, if you're using this approach, you need to manage extensive data collection activity individually or with a team. Yeah, normally this one work with a team lah, because you need to do a collection of data. For example, one team are handling the distribution of questionnaire, while the other one are focusing on the interviews, for example. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see here, the umbrellas paradigm, pragmatism, parallel database variant, etc. Yeah. The strengths, yeah, it could be intuitive, efficient, and led itself to a teams. As I mentioned before, normally this approach was done in the group works, yeah, so that it will be more efficient. Yeah, you collect together. Yeah, that was then you finish all the collection at the same time. Yeah. Of course, there's a challenges. Yeah, of course, require substantial effort and expertise, sample size. Yeah, difficult to converge to set of different data. How to resolve discrepancy? Yeah? Sometimes the data have some changes, some factors that differentiate them with other set of data. Okay, that's the first one. The second one, they call it explanatory sequential design. Yeah. Here you start with quantitative data collection analysis, yeah, then follow up with qualitative data collection and analysis. Mean that you finish first quantitative data collection, then you analyze it, yeah. Then when you see, oh, okay, from this analysis we found out certain part which is lacking, then you continue, yeah, you follow up certain data in order with qualitative data collection to get a clear interpretation. Explanatory designs, collecting quantitative first, then of course the qualitative. Yeah, the purpose is use qualitative data to help explain. Means that you get the basic data first. So for example, you distribute questionnaire, then you get information that actually, basically, the fact most of the peoples in Kuala Lumpur, for example, they like to go out to parks, yeah, they like to go to park on Sunday morning, for example. Majority of them. Then you like to identify further, yeah, from that Monday mornings, people go to Monday morning. What are there? What contribute them? Yeah. So then you interview them one by one. That what we call a qualitative data to help explain quantitative result, the need for the explorations. When to use it? Yeah, when the researcher and research problem are quantitatively oriented. Yeah, for example, when you did your data collection first, you know the basic principle of numbers of it. Yeah, you know the important variables, instrument are available. Yeah, participant are available. This is one of the most important of it. When you collect the data, when you distribute the questionnaire, you know that later on, yeah, in order for you to use the second phase of data collection, your participant is available. This is very important. If they're not available, you cannot conduct the second phase. Yeah, you have time, of course. You have limited resources. One type at a time. Yeah. For example, if you have project, yeah, normally the first phase of the project go with the qualitative first. Then you waiting for the second budget. Then you continue with the second stage of the projects. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it comes because of the question. Yeah. When you finish up the quantitative data, then you feel, okay, there must be something that you like to know further. Yeah. That's why you engaging the qualitative research methods after that. Yeah. These are the post-positivisms. Yeah, as I said, quantitative is the with the singular realities, etc. Yeah. Then you come up to shift to constructivism for qualitative phase. Yeah. The strengths, yeah, appealing to quantitative researcher. Yeah. So normally, people who normally collect the quantitative data, they would like to know further. Yeah. Straightforward. Yeah. To implement two phase. Final report can be written in two phase. As I said, sometimes you have a budget problems. You finish up one first, you submit the report, then you wait for another budget, then you go to second. Yeah. So this is the emergent approaches, yeah, that people are using currently. Yeah. These are the challenge, yeah, lengthy time to implement, difficult to secure supervisor approval, yeah. So, for example, when you finishing one part, when you ask your supervisor, sometimes they say, no, this one is no need, yeah. Then your second stage might not need to be cancelled, yeah. What result to follow up? Yeah, this is the some of the challenges that we can found. Okay. Next one, we call it exploratory sequential design. Exploratory sequential design, when you start with qualitative first. I mean that maybe you conduct interview first, or maybe you did a survey, yeah, survey. Then you need to quantify, yeah, follow up with quantify and interpretation, yeah. Yeah. So this, as you can see here, these are the detail of it. Yeah, start with qualitative, followed by quantitative data, etc. Yeah. Variable theories, hypothesis not known. Yeah. Sometimes your research was based on certain theories. Yeah. So that instrument typology is not available. That's why you need to develop the theory first. That's why you did a qualitative first in order for you to have a clear understanding of the theories related with it. Yeah. Uh, Sometimes you like to generalize, yeah, generalize whether the qualitative themes was appropriate or not to the whole population. Yeah. Yeah. So this is choose this design if qualitatively oriented. Yeah. Have time to conduct two phases. Limited resources, need to collect unless one data at a time. Yeah. As I said, sometimes you have project, you like to finish one phase first, then go to the next one. Yeah. Sometimes, as I said, like the previous one, there's a question, yeah, from the interview you get certain information. You like to know further. Yeah, that's why maybe from that particular thing you distribute a questionnaire on that particular populations. Yeah. So when you talk about you start with constructivism into post-positivism, theory development variant, instrument development variants. Yeah. The strength, straightforward to design, implement, and report. Yeah. Quantitative can make the qualitative approach more acceptable. Yeah, as I said, qualitative approach have been criticized for being biased, yeah. But using the quantitative, you make the qualitative become more acceptable, yeah, on that. Of course, as I said, it require more times. You need to have sometimes you have difficulty with the ethical committee's approval. Yeah, you need to apply twice because of the two process. Yeah, deciding the qualitative finding to use for qualitative phase and procedure for developing a valid and reliable instruments. Jadi used for valid and reliable instrument. Jadi sometimes you have a problems. Yeah, in order for you to conduct the second one, you need to have the second valid and reliable instrument on that. Okay. Next models that you can develop, they call it embedded design. Embedded design appear when you are required to do a quantitative or qualitative design at the same time quantitative or qualitative data collection and analysis. Yeah. So you start with quantitative or qualitative design and you did the data collection and you did the analysis. But inside there, while doing the data collection and analysis, you are also taking some part of it, yeah. And for example, you do the qualitative or quantitative data collection, and then analysis before or during or after. Yeah. So this is a bit complicated, yeah. But to make it easy for you, they did it all together, but inside there, they did some preliminary data collections and analysis. Yeah. Then you did the interpretations. Just to make you easier, yeah. As I said, you have to have the big quant or big qual, yeah. Uh, in the embedded approach, sometimes you using exploratory design, yeah. Sometimes experimental after that, and you did a predictive design. Yeah. So when you talk about correlational design and experimental design, yeah, this is the process of it. Sometimes, so you did quant as a pretest, yeah. Then you did an intervention, yeah, when you collect the qualitative data. Then you did a quantitative again as a post-test. Yeah. So there's a two process of quantitative, but inside the quantitative process, you did a qualitative data collection and analysis. Yeah. Then you did an interpretation on all of the findings. Yeah. So it's a bit complicated, but just because it's embedded, it's very easy that this is one process, but inside that process, there's also another process happening. Okay. The embedded design researcher collects, analyze quantitative and qualitative data within a qualitative design, research design or research procedures. Yeah. Collection and analysis of secondary data set occurs before, during, and after primary methods. Yeah. So you did a one data collection, but sometimes you did a preliminaries. For example, if your main was qualitative, then sometimes you did a surveys or you did a distribute questionnaire before you start. Then you use that inside the main methods that you are conducting. Yeah. So the purpose of it is to address different questions that call for different methods, yeah, to enhance an experiments, yeah, recruiting procedures, intervention procedures, reaction to participant, etc. Yeah. Here you can see that you need to have an expertise with the primary design, yeah, comfortable primary orientation, experience supplemental methods, etc. Yeah. So you can start with the philosophical assumptions, yeah, common variants that you can need to work together on that. Yeah. In terms of strengths, you can have less time, yeah, with the fewer resources, yeah. Improve the larger design with supplemental data, fit team approach well, yeah, results separately, etc. Because you did it inside it, yeah. So I mean you enhance a process, the main process of the data collection. Okay, of course, it require certain expertise. Yeah, you need to understand the primary data and the mixed method process, etc. Yeah, so it need specific treatment, etc. Okay. these are some examples. Yeah, objectives is determine if the faculty development program impact teaching style of pre-tenure faculties. Yeah. The quantitative, what did FDP have on teachers' approach on teachings? Yeah. In terms of qualitative, yeah, of course you did another things. Yeah, that will become your your supplementary data there. Then you have your mixed method between the qualitative findings that explain, yeah, the qualitative quant result on that. Okay.
係啊，嚟等層啦。OK 啦，OK 啊，嚟，等一下我看一下。OK。
Okay. So in terms of formats, yeah. This is the chapter 1 when you write the introduction, yeah, use statement of the problem, topics, yeah, research problem, background, justification, yeah, definition of terms, yeah. Of course, you have your chapter 2 when you did the literature reviews, yeah. In here, your research question should be then you have to already mention that about the purpose of the overall the mixed method that you're going to use, how you collect the data, everything. And of course, you need to develop your research question in quantitative and qualitative with mixed method approach. Yeah. Then these are the methodologies. Yeah. You explain about the participant, your quantitative and qualitative data, instrument, yeah, procedures, then how you design everything, and you did the data analysis after that. Yeah. I think that's all from my side. If there is any question from the participant here, you can write in the chat box, or you can raise up your questions. Yeah. Any question from the students here? If there isn't any questions, may I ask the student to open up the camera a bit? Yeah, just I would like to document as evidence of attendance. Saidati, are you there? Hello, Saidati, are you there? I saw you are here.
Yes, Prof.
Oh yeah, Saidati, can you help me to take pictures of us here?
Okay, Prof.
Okay, guys, please can you open up your camera a bit? Okay, so please open up your camera so then we can do a documentation, a proper documentation of our class today. Okay, Saidati, yours, we following your directions.
Okay. I'll take the screenshot for the first slide. And then
Have you taken the picture, Saidati?
wait, one more slide. Okay, done.
Saidati, have you taken the picture?
Yes, done, Prof. Already. Hello?
Okay, yeah. Okay. I've recorded this event also. Okay. Thank you very much for all the students for joining our class today. Yeah. Hope to see you again next week. Yeah. Hopefully next week we can have a face-to-face class. Yeah. Then we can have more discussion on our assignment number 2 and 3. Yeah. Because I think next week we'll be talking about case study research. Yeah. Whereas I'll be explaining a bit. I think case study research is very important for us because it's very much related with our field, yeah, in architecture. And I think you have done your case studies also when you did your assignment too, yeah. So hopefully we got time to discuss in more detail next week, yeah. Okay, guys, see you again next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon, everyone. Bye. See you again next week.